It's not about being good at something. It's about being good to yourself. Inhale the future, exhale the past. A flower does not think of competing to the flower next to it. It just blooms. Letting go is the hardest asana. The pose begins when you want to leave it. Yoga is the journey of the self through the self to the self. You cannot always control what goes on outside, but you can always control what goes on inside. Just breathe. The longest journey of any person is the journey inward. Yoga does not transform the way we see things, it transforms the person who sees. The very heart of yoga practice is abhyasa, steady effort in the direction you want to go. Yoga is a dance between control and surrender, between pushing and letting go, and when to push and when to let go becomes part of the creative process, part of the open-ended exploration of your being. Yoga is not about what you do, it is about how you do it. In our uniquely human capacity of connect movement with breath and spiritual meaning, yoga is born. The rhythm of the body, the melody of the mind, and the harmony of the soul create the symphony of life. As you breathe in, cherish yourself. As you breathe out, cherish all beings. Yoga begins right where I am, not where I was yesterday or where I long to be. Concentrating on poses clears the mind, while focusing on the breath helps the body shift out of fight or flight mode. Yoga should be practiced with firm determination and perseverance without any mental reservation or doubts. Yoga is the practice of quieting the mind. Yoga is a way to freedom. By its constant practice, we can free ourselves from fear, anguish, and loneliness. Yoga takes us to the present moment, the only place where light exists. Yoga science is not just a scholarly pursuit. It is a moment-by-moment and thought-by-thought's practical guide for living. Yoga is a light which once lit will never dim. The better your practice, the brighter the flame. The study of asana is not about mastering posture. It's about using posture to understand and transform yourself. Yoga is not about self-improvement, it's about self-acceptance. Most people have no idea how good their body is designed to feel. Yoga teaches us to cure what need not be endured and endure what cannot be cured. Yoga is not a religion. It is a science, science of well-being, science of youthfulness, science of integrating body, mind, and soul. Yoga is not about touching your toes. It is what you learn on the way down. Without inner peace, outer peace is impossible. Yoga begins with listening. When we listen, we are giving space to what is. Yoga reveals to you the beauty of mindfulness and takes you into the essence of an endless present moment. Yoga is not for the flexible, it's for the willing. Yoga began with the first person wanting to be healthy and happy all the time. The body benefits from movement and the mind benefits from stillness. It doesn't matter what it looks like, it matters what it feels like. The path of yoga is the path of self-discovery. As our self-image disintegrates, we contact our true self. Life becomes a great joy. Women need real moments of solitude and self-reflection to balance out how much of ourselves we give away. Yoga is the practice of quieting the mind. Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I am changing myself. Yoga is the stilling of the changing states of the mind. It is through the alignment of the body that I discovered the alignment of my mind, self, and intelligence. Yoga gives us a space and time to journey to the simplicity of breath and movement and connecting with ourselves. You don't always need a plan. Sometimes you just need to breathe, trust, let go, and see what happens. When you practice yoga once a week, you change your mind. When you practice yoga twice a week, you change your body. When you practice yoga every day, it will change your life. Yoga is when every cell in the body sings the song of the soul. I have been a seeker and I still am, but I stopped asking the books and the stars. I started listening to the teaching of my soul. The true purpose of yoga is to discover that aspect of your being that can never be lost. It's not life that matters, it's the courage you bring to it. The quality of our breath expresses our inner feelings. When the breath control is correct, mind control is possible. Surrender is the highest power to gain all that you want to gain. You have to be you, and that can only happen if you love yourself. Mindfulness helps us to go home to the present, and every time you go there and recognize a condition of happiness that you have, happiness comes. Yoga is the dance of every cell with the music of every breath that creates inner serenity and harmony. Every day is a great day for yoga. Yoga is a mirror to look at ourselves from within. Be where you are, not where you think you should be. The longest journey of any person is the journey inward. When you listen to yourself, everything comes naturally. It comes from inside, like a kind of will to do something. Try to be sensitive. That is yoga. Yoga is not a workout, it is a work-in. And this is the point of spiritual practice, to make us teachable, to open up our hearts and focus our awareness so that we can know what we already know and be who we already are. Meditation brings wisdom. Lack of meditation leaves ignorance. Know well what leads you forward and what holds you back, and choose the path that leads to wisdom. True meditation is about being fully present with everything that is, including discomfort and challenges. It is not an escape from life. Yoga is a light which, once lit, will never dim. The better your practice, the brighter your flame. In truth, yoga doesn't take time, it gives time. Yoga is the fountain of youth. You're only as young as your spine is flexible. Yoga is invigoration and relaxation, freedom in routine, confidence through self-control, the energy within and energy without. Yoga is the perfect opportunity to be curious about who you are. Calming the mind is yoga, not just standing on the head. The body is your temple. Keep it pure and clean for the soul to reside in. The body benefits from movement and the mind benefits from stillness. The nature of yoga is to shine the light of awareness into the darkest corners of the body. Yoga happens beyond the mat. Anything you do with attention to how you feel is doing yoga. Yoga means addition of energy, strength, and beauty to body, mind, and soul. Meditation is a way for nourishing and blossoming the divinity within you. Yoga is not just repetition of few postures, it is more about the exploration and discovery of the subtle energies of life. It doesn't matter if things aren't perfect. My practice is my time to feel alive, loved, and free. The gift of learning to meditate is the greatest gift you can give yourself in this lifetime. Yoga adds years to your life and life to your years. Yoga is the artwork of awareness on the canvas of body, mind, and soul. Meditation can help us embrace our worries, our fear, our anger, and that is very healing. We let our own natural capacity of healing do the work. Life's too fast. Slow down and do yoga. Inner peace begins the moment you choose not to allow another person or event to control your emotions. Travel light, live light, spread the light, be the light. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. The attitude of gratitude is the highest yoga. Yoga practice can make us more and more sensitive to subtler and subtler sensations in the body. Paying attention to and staying with finer and finer sensations within the body is one of the surest ways to steady the wandering mind. The purpose of karma yoga is to transcend the bondage of selfish genes through the service of others. Yoga is not about self-improvement, it's about self-acceptance. Yoga is the space where flower blossoms. I am standing on my own altar. The poses are my prayers. Surrender to yoga, for where is the conflict when the truth is known? The wise man lets go of all results, whether good or bad, and is focused on the actions alone. Ignorance, avidya, is the root element of all of the other afflictions. Whether it is like or dislike, and such are deep sleep, weakness, dissoluteness, or loftiness, no matter what type, all rise out of ignorance. Undisturbed calmness of mind is attained by cultivating friendliness toward the happy, compassion for the unhappy, delight in the virtuous, and indifference toward the wicked. With non-acceptance of unnecessary things, the knowledge emerges of what I was, what I have become, and what I will be. All of the fruits of the yogic powers can be obstacles to samadhi. They will definitely create more karma if used recklessly. What is yoga? Yoga is a practice that works on 8 levels of development in the fields of mental, physical, spiritual, and social health. The mind remains clear and focused as long as physical health is intact. The main goals of yoga include physical health, mental health, spiritual health, sense of self, social health. Yoga Sutras, yamas, ethics, niyamas, virtuous behaviors, asana, postures, pranayama, breath, pratyahara, awareness, dharan, concentration, dhyana, reflection, samadhi, union.